Hello everyone, welcome to Microbiology Online. My name is Dr. Williams and I'm so happy to have you in class this semester. I'm going to give you a little bit of a student tour through our class. Not only do I do this in every class, but I do find it especially important in this class because your Blackboard view may look a little different than what you're used to in some of your other courses. For this course, I'm test piloting what's called Blackboard Ultra. So some of your other course will be in basically Blackboard Basic, but for this class, we will be using Blackboard Ultra. Not too many faculty are doing that now, so two reasons. I want to show you what our course looks like, but I also want to give you some tips on how to navigate Ultra so that you understand where things are in the course, because it does look a little different. So let's go ahead and get started. So when you enter the course, you will enter on a screen that looks like this, and you will see lots of information. Now, if you've done Blackboard here at Gaston before, you probably remember a left-hand navigation bar over here, and then the announcements sitting right here when you entered the course. But when you enter the course in Ultra, it will look like this. So you will have some content choices up here. Your grade books at the top, access to discussions and announcements are there as well. The calendar, and then of course your content is where all your course material is located. So I'm going to go ahead and kind of dive in and tell you how to get started in the course. So the first thing that you're going to do when you enter our course is do the orientation. I don't have any material or microbiology material due during the first week so that you can help get you acquainted with not only Blackboard Ultra, but also how the course is set up. So this is your week to really dive in and understand our course setup. So when you're ready to start, you're going to click Start here. And what you're going to see is an expanded menu of the tasks that you need to complete. Most of these tasks are very quick, but I'll have instructions for you. Now you're seeing these little dots here, and this is how you can mark when you've done it or completed it. This is optional for you, but it does help you remember what you've already reviewed and not. So let's go ahead and open it up. So when you open up the first thing in the course, you're going to see how do I get started. I'm going to tell you how we work in our learning community, what this course is. You'll see the learning outcomes for the orientation that you're doing during this first week and the tasks that you need to complete. Now, in these tasks, it's really 10 tasks. The 11th is just congratulations, but you have 10 tasks to complete. For instance, read the syllabus is task 1. Reviewing the course schedule. Make sure you review that as task 2. Task 3 is getting to know a little bit about me. Now then when you get to task 4, you have your first item that's graded. Now this is very, very, very important. And that is because here what you're going to see is that if you do not complete this course entry quiz by the census date, sadly, you will be removed from the class. Now, this is not a Dr. Williams policy. This is a Gaston College in the state of North Carolina policy. Also, you will not be able to see anything else in this course past task 4. So until you complete task 4 and submit that assignment, which is only 3 questions, true or false, and it just basically acknowledges that you've read the syllabus. Task 4, once completed, will then open up the rest of the course. So when you enter the course the first time, it will look empty to you other than this first orientation module. So once you read that, you're then going to go through and click the right arrow navigation to go forward to the next step. Now, this is task 1. Task 1 is to read the course syllabus and learn about the learning objectives. So what you'll see is here's the course learning objectives, which are also in your syllabus. Here's your description of the course. There's a link to the syllabus, which will take you to the digital version of our syllabus that you can read and find all the information that you need. I also have it embedded here, just so you can see it easily. But this will get you a bigger view, so you can use this link. Once you're done, you're going to navigate to the next page. Now you can use the left arrow to go backwards or to go forwards. Now you're going to complete task 2. There are two things in task 2. The course schedule, which is listed here. It's also in the syllabus, and it is also in an announcement for you as well. I will also have the course map laid out up here, and it will be tagged down here. I just don't have that uploaded yet, but by the time you're in the course, you will see it. You can then take time to meet me. There's a little bit about me, but also below you will see ways to contact me. My email, where I'm located in my office, what my office hours are, and please note that I do allow appointments as well. You just have to tell me ahead of time, and I can do Zoom appointments, but those you do have to schedule ahead of time so I know to turn the Zoom on. One thing I do want to help you with is to kind of get you to know how I respond to things. So my response time to emails and messages is within 24 hours, excluding weekends and holidays. Now, what you will learn with me is that I am much faster to respond than that, and I check my email many, many times throughout the day, and my messages many, many times throughout the day. So my response time may be faster than 24 hours, and more than likely it will be. My weekend policy, although I do complete things and work and check and grade on weekends, it's not as much as I do during the week. So I'm generally not available on the weekends, but I do go in and do a few things. I just want you to know it won't be as frequent as it is throughout the week. I also post grades within 1 week of the due date. But for some reason, if I'm not able to do that, you will be notified ahead of time. If that is, I'm traveling for a conference or something. However, just like in the emails and messages, I tend to grade pretty quickly. And so it will more than likely be very quick, much more quick than 1 week within the due date. An exception to that is sometimes it takes me a week to grade our bigger assessment at the end of the semester, which is called the Kirby-Bauer assessment. And it just takes longer to grade. But I still have it done within that week. But the rest of the items are pretty much done very quickly. I try to do some grading at least every single day. You can then navigate to This is the Course Entry Quiz. Now, what I will say is the Course Entry Quiz, remember I told you if you don't complete this, then you won't see the rest of the course. What I will say is this, you can't submit after the due date for this, but you have unlimited attempts to earn a 100. There's just 3 questions associated with that. And just make sure you do this day 1 to make sure you can keep a seat in the class. So you can see it's tracking my progress. Now, we know you've read that, right? So in your course, you can mark those off and say, ooh, I'm done. Now, I cannot mark this one as complete because you have to actually complete it before we're done. The next thing is the course tour video, but what I will say with this, I'm not going to click on that right now because the course tour video is what I'm recording right now. So there's actually not a course tour video in there, but there will be. There is an introduction discussion that counts as a grade. Again, this is just introducing yourself. This does count as a grade. You can keep posting to get a 10 out of a 10 or a 100. Then you can go into just a statement about how we do our microbiology labs. It does not cost you anything. It is all virtual, and all the links are provided within the course. Also, there's a tab for you to review for Task 8, which talks about learner support and how to get access to help on campus. Whether you need campus resources or you need online success tips, how to track your progress in Blackboard Ultra, because this is new for most people in this class. And then I also have accessibility devices and other links like that. So feel free to use those. This tab, the learner support, is also located on the home page of Blackboard outside of our course. Also, since we're using a new platform, I have provided you with lots of different materials to help you understand Blackboard Ultra. So here's an intro at how to navigate inside Blackboard Ultra. Here is how to submit an assignment, how to complete a discussion, how to check grades, how you can view your assignment feedback, and so on. And what might happen is I might add some more helpful videos. If I start getting questions from anyone saying, I don't understand how to do X, then I will try to get you a video on how to do it and explain it so you know what you're doing. The biggest thing I do want you to know is that if you are struggling with Blackboard Ultra and not sure how to use it, please reach out to me. Not only am I learning along with you on how to use this, but I will help you, and we will make sure that we get that, get you help. Now, the next graded assignment is the course orientation quiz. Again, it's unlimited. You can take it as many times to earn 100, 10 out of a 10. And it's basically just questions on the course setup and what you learned in the orientation module. And what I'll say, it's again unlimited. It's another way to earn 100 very quickly. It does count as a grade, which, as you can see, there were 3 graded assignments in this module, the orientation module, and you can start off strong with 3 100 averages. And so once you're at the end of each module, it'll tell you what to do next. And so now you may proceed to module 1. What I'll do is go ahead and look into module 1. All the modules, we have 5 main learning modules, then the orientation module, which we talked about, and the final exam module. What you'll see in these modules is all your learning materials are located here. They're all structured the same, so I'll basically kind of just talk through module 1. They're all structured, like I said, with the same categories. An introduction with your learning outcomes. So module 1 has 12 main module learning outcomes, and this number here is to tell you how it connects to the course outcome that's in your syllabus. So when you learn this material, it aligns with that course outcome number 1, and so on. So you'll see how it's labeled here for you. And again, you just use your navigation bar. This is your important due dates. Not only do you have these in your course schedule, it is also listed here. You will see our modules last 2 to 3 weeks in length. Module 1 is 3 weeks long, and each of the assignments you have are listed here within the module. So for example, in Module 1, Week 1, which will be due January 21st at 11:59 p.m., you're going to read and learn and study Chapters 1 and 2. You're going to complete an initial discussion post, and you're going to have 2 labs to complete. Here is the learning outcomes that match these activities, and remember we saw those back here. That tells you what those are, so you can make those connections so you know what you're learning. This, by the way, is an excellent study guide. So if you want to know what's coming, those are the things that we're assessing in the course. Week 2, you'll see what those assignments are, and then week 3, you'll see those assignments as well. If you need help or have questions, of course, always reach out. So you know that we had those readings. All the readings are posted in the chapter. Let me go back out so you can see that a little better. In a learning modules folder, if you go to just click that right arrow, it'll take you right into the learning modules, but there's actually several things located. So what it will go, the first thing, of course, is the Chapter 1 reading, which will take you to our textbook just with the click. Then I also have recorded lectures for you and your PowerPoint notes that are found here at the bottom. Once you go, and you'll see that's the same for each thing. There's Chapter 2, reading, and then you'll see the recorded lecture and notes. Those are there for you with the notes down here. Now, once you get through each of these chapters that are found, you will have a self-check. What I want to say about the self-check is that it doesn't count for a grade. It's just to help you see how much of the material you learned. It's usually between 8 and 15 questions. Again, it doesn't count as a grade. You can take it as many times as you want to. It's just a formative assessment that just kind of helps you see what you know and what you don't know to kind of get you prepared. Then every module will have a discussion. The discussion boards look like this. I'll tell you the purpose, why you're doing it, and what you need to do to be successful. And you'll see what I will say here is that you have 2 due dates that you need to complete, and that is one, the initial post, which is usually due on either the first or second Sunday of the module. So this one is due the first Sunday of Module 1, and then you'll have 2 responses which are due on the second Sunday of Module 1. And that will give you your full grade for the module out of 10 points. You will see that this is graded by a rubric, and so you'll see the rubric and how it's graded here. So I will grade using that rubric. And you can kind of see what it looks like here that you're going to have when we grade. The next assignment that you have, and I'm going to go out of that so I can see it just a little bit better with you guys, is a global connection activity. You only have 2 of these in the semester. I'm going to hit start attempt 1 so that we can look at it. So Module 1 and Module 3 have a global connections activity. This first activity we're going to do is a historical timeline of advances in microbiology in Europe. And so it's just to kind of get you to understand different parts of the world and how microbiology has played a role. And your instructions are there. In this case, you're creating a timeline using Canva, Word, PowerPoint, any kind of infographic tool that you want in order to get a better understanding of how Europe played a role in the development of microbiology and epidemiology. You will always have a homework assignment as well, and you'll see that pop up here, which you can start. You have 5 attempts. One important thing I do want to say about this course, and I failed to mention it so far, is that homeworks, labs, and labs, as well as the global connection activity and kind of discussions as well, you have up to 5 attempts on. So let's say you do this homework and it's, out of so many points, you do the homework and you don't do so well. You're like, oh, I thought I was going to do better. Well, you have 4 more attempts and you get the highest score counts. That's true for homework, for labs, but for the quiz, you will always have a quiz. The quiz will cover whatever chapters we've been looking through in that module, but you only have 2 attempts on that. So let's say you take it once and I didn't do so well. You have another attempt and the highest score counts. I always recommend using your attempts to make sure that you're taking as much out, you're getting the highest score you possibly can. So you can see your progress bar on what's completed and what's not done. And what you'll see is every module will look exactly the same. And then after you're done with Module 2, you're going to go on to Module 3, doing those activities. Of course, when you click in the activity, as you've noticed, it expands out. So, you can see the learning materials and it'll take you to the readings. This is just a list of what it is. And so you'll work through all of those. You'll see the dates that we're covering this, not only in your syllabus and in your course schedule, but you'll see them listed here at the beginning of each module. The next thing you have is your final exam module. And what I will say for that is, you can see I have a note about that. The final exam, I am not allowed to open it early. The earliest I can open it is Thursday, May 2nd at 4:01 p.m. And at that time, it will appear here. Right now, you see it's not available to students because it won't open till that time. And then you will have until May 7th, to get that completed by 11:59 p.m. You only have 1 attempt on this. So, remember module quizzes, you get 2 attempts. Labs, homeworks, and other activities like that, you get 5 attempts. But the final, you get 1. And once you're done, you've completed the course. So that's just sort of the structure of the learning material. If you look here, let me go up, you can see that there's a calendar for you. You can see it by due date. Right now that there's no items due at this time, you can see when they're due on the calendar. You can also see announcements. Right now, I do not have the announcements published since the course, when I'm recording this, the course isn't open, but they will be there once you can see that. Although you can access the discussions in the content area of each module, you can also access each one of them here as well. And then you can also access your gradebook. And so your gradebook will look like this. This is the preview student view, and you'll see all the assignments that we have. Now, what I will say is, which ones count as a grade because you can see those listed here with points. If you see this little 4 squares, it means there's a rubric with that. I need to change this. This is actually this is graded. I'm not sure why it's saying not graded right now. But you will see that posted throughout, what your assignments are, and really how many points each thing is worth. So you can see how you have different varying points. It's weighted total. When you get down to here, you will see, and I'm going to move this. This is out of order, but Here you will see those self-checks that I showed you at the end of the learning materials. They do not count as a grade, but they're there so you can complete them. So everything that's graded is from here up. But you can still complete these and it'll show that you've completed unlimited attempts. To message me, I prefer that you message me in Blackboard Messages, which is this tab here. And you can click this message to send me the message that you need. Here you can send the message to me, or you can type in a member of the class as well. That way I will get sort of a notification that you have sent me a message. So my first method or preferred method of communication is Blackboard Messages here. My second method is email. I always say do messages first, and I would prefer communication there first. And the reason I do that is because sometimes students have told me they sent me an email and I didn't get it. And sometimes it gets caught in our spam filter. Well, if you send me a message, it won't get caught in the spam filter because it's in Blackboard. And so that's just a protective mechanism. If you email me, I will respond. But the one thing I will say is if you don't hear from me within a few hours after sending your message or email, please send it again or reach out to me in a different way because it could have gotten caught in a spam filter, especially if you email. So that's a little bit about how our course looks. I'm so excited to have you in class this semester, and I think it's going to be great. The biggest thing that we have is to learn Blackboard Ultra, that, to start off, which I've given us a whole week to get used to it. But if you ever have any problems, please reach out to me because I'm here to help, I'm here to support, and I want you to be as successful as possible. So if you have any questions, please reach out. I'm always happy to help, and I hope everyone has a wonderful day.